For drops of the right additive can save you €800 in fuel this year, yet one wrong bottle can grenade your engine before the weekend is over. Stick around as we blitz through 13 proven formulas that squeeze every last kilometer from your tank, then unmask 5 chemical time bombs, including one still legal only in aircraft fuel. Quick challenge. Which additive do you swear by or swear at? Type the brand in the comments before we hit number 3 and see if it's hero or villain. Additive number 1, Techron concentrate. Plus, ever wondered why engineers at GM quietly slip the same fuel system cleaner into their long-term durability tests? Techron concentrate plus isn't just another detergent in a flashy bottle. PEA molecules burrow into carbon like microscopic chisels, freeing stuck injector pintles and scraping combustion chamber varnish until raw metal gleams. On the street, that means to extra miles per gallon and the disappearance of that hollow ping when you climb a grade. €120 save every 10,000 kilometers and fewer detours to the pump. Dose one full bottle into a nearly empty tank every third fill, then drive hard for 15 minutes. Heat activates the chemistry, performance rewards follow. Small bottle, big payback. Years ago, I tested it on a neglected Saab within half a tank. The idle settled 200 revolutions per minute lower, and the exhaust stopped smelling like burnt toast. Tune up without wrenches. Additive number 2, a TS Chemical 505C RF. A mechanic bets his reputation on one bottle. When YouTube veteran Scotty Kilmer poured a TS Chemical 505C RF into the tank of a coughing Toyota pickup, viewers predicted snake oil failure. 400 miles later, oil consumption halved and cylinder compression evened out. Chemistry explains. The turnaround, a double shot of P+ proprietary dispersants that erase for carbon species in gasoline and diesel, including stubborn deposits on high-pressure common rail injectors. Real-world wallets notice. 2 drivers log fuel cost drops of 13%, roughly €325 a year for anyone burning €2,500 at the pump. The bottle costs more than Techron, but longevity dwarfs price. Add 1 can per 75 liters. Follow with spirited driving and swap the oil soon after to flush loosened grime. Reputation stake. Additive number 3, Lucas heavy-duty oil stabilizer picture or worn bearings cushioned overnight. Pop the hood of any 300,000 km sedan and you'll hear the metallic tap of clearances too wide for today's razor-thin synthetics. Lucas heavy-duty oil stabilizer pours in like honey, clings like molasses, and fills those microscopic gulfs with a 2500 CST mineral blanket. Within minutes, hot idle pressure jumps from 8 side to 15, valve train chatter softens, and tailpipe blue fades evidence the oil is staying inside, not burning away. Reserve this fix for high milers without turbos or variable valve trickery. Modern engines will gag on the goo. Blend up to 20% at your next change, then watch the dipstick. Hold steady between intervals. Silence restored. A client's 1995 Land Cruiser ran an extra summer of mountain trails on one treatment, buying budget time before a full rebuild. Additive number 4, Liqui Moly MOS anti-friction treatment. German taxi fleets trust a gray powder nobody ever sees working in every bottle of Liqui Moly MOS. Microscopic flakes of molybdenum disulfide plate metal surfaces with a pressure-proof boundary layer that slices valve train friction by up to 50%. Friction steals power. Drop it into an aging to 0.0 TDI, and winter cold starts sound like summertime oil pumps faster, cams spin easier, and the starter motor's amperage draw plunges. The payoff shows at the pump. Engines that once wheezed at 8L, 100 kilometers settle nearer 7L, saving €150 a year for urban commuters. Add 1 can per 4 liters of engine oil every 50,000 kilometers. Skip brand new cars where rings still need to seat. An elderly E-Class diesel clocked 200,000 kilometers in Munich cabs before its first CAM swap. Fleet managers credit MOS for the calm. Friction is optional. Additive number 5, Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment. Ed Diesel lost its lube when sulfur went out the exhaust. Ultra-low sulfur fuel arrives clean but dry, carving 520-micron scars in high-pressure pumps. One splash of hotshot EDT shrinks that wound to 159 microns, a 70% drop that can spare you a €5,000 injector bill. Numbers sound sterile until a farm truck that once rattled awake like a jackhammer suddenly whispers to life at dawn quieter. Combustion, quicker throttle, 7% better mileage hauling grain. EDT's nitrogen-based cetane improvers kick ignition 7 points earlier, slashing white smoke and cold stumbles. Dose 60 milliliters per 230 L tank, or 90 milliliters when winter diesel hits the forecourt. Lubricity equals longevity, log fuel receipts for 3 months. If the treatment hasn't paid for itself, the company offers a money-back guarantee. Additive number 6, Seafoam motor treatment, 1 bottle, 3 systems, endless rescue stories. Seafoam began in 1940 to saving seized outboard motors. Today, its pale solvent blend stabilizes stored fuel, emulsifies crankcase sludge, and cleans upper cylinders in gas or diesel. Mechanics call it mechanical sympathy. Add 150 milliliters per 15 L of petrol, mist another 50 milliliters through a vacuum line, and pour the same into warm oil 100 kilometers before a change. Idle smooths, lifter tick fades, and parking lot hydrocarbons on N. Emissions sniffer drop by double digits. It's no P powerhouse like Techron, yet versatility wins. A Minnesota-stored RV fired after 9 months with 0 misfires thanks to Seafoam-soaked carb bowls. Versatility saves weekends. Use it as preventive maintenance every oil interval on engines older than 5 years. Specialists can handle the surgical cleaners later. Additive number 7, Marvel Mystery Oil. A 1967 Mustang sat 15 years under a dusty tarp until its new owner poured in a scarlet splash of Marvel Mystery Oil, cranked twice, and heard the V8 cough back to life. Inside each bottle, light mineral base stock carries top-secret detergents and anti-wear esters that creep past lacquered piston rings, dissolve carbon varnish, and relube sticky valve guides. Minutes later, the idle drops 250 revolutions per minute, EGR valves cycle freely and oil pressure needles quit twitching. Users have freed sludged lifters on everything from lawnmowers to aircraft tugs. Dose 120 milliliters per L of crankcase oil every other service and another 60 milliliters for every full tank of fuel. Old metal deserves mercy. Treat classics or any engine north of 150,000 kilometers. Modern direct injection mills can skip the nostalgia and stick to targeted cleaners. Additive number 8, Hotshot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel. Imagine a January dawn in Trondheim, minus 28 degrees Celsius, diesel thicker than candle wax, tractor needed now. 1 preventative glug of Hotshot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel the night before drops the cold filter plugging point from minus 12 degrees Celsius to a staggering minus 40 degrees Celsius, keeping paraffin crystals microscopic and your fuel filter clear simultaneously. Nitrocetane improvers add 3 numbers of ignition quality, slicing cranking time in half and muting that embarrassing cloud of white smoke. Farmers report 0 tow-ins after switching. Versus to per season on generic blends is €600 difference. Per call out, mix 75 milliliters per 90 L in autumn, double dose for Arctic snaps, and store a spare bottle in the cab. Cold starts should be boring. Treat before temperatures dive. Once diesel has gelled, no additive can rescue the solidified wax. Additive number 9, BG MOA motor oil additive stuck piston rings. Don't announce themselves until blow-by sucks oil like a vampire and compression numbers crater. BG MOA attacks the root cause with calcium dispersants that lift carbon, magnesium detergents that neutralize acid, and a proprietary antioxidant boosting total base number by 40%. In fleet tests, taxis running MOA showed half the wear. Metals after 160,000 kilometers compared with identical cabs on bargain oil. Result, valve train less stays tight, catalytic converters avoid phosphorus poisoning, and owners postpone top-end rebuilds by years. €3,500 saved, minimum. Add 325 milliliters, can at every oil change up to 7,500 kilometers, then sample the oil to confirm the TB still sits above 4. Protection accumulates silently. Ideal for any engine that sees long drains, hard doing, or fuel of questionable quality. Feeling that knowledge bump so far? If these first 9 additives saved you even one trip to the pump, hit that and share this video with a friend who still trusts miracle bottles. Drop a comment with the worst additive fail you've witnessed. Best story gets pinned. And don't blink. Blocks 10 through 18 reveal the hidden zinc fix for vintage cams and the toxic booster that can wreck your cat in one tank. Keep rolling. Additive number 10. Lucas TB Zinc Plus Flat Tappet Cams crave zinc the way humans need oxygen. Modern low-Z DDP oils, designed to save catalytic converters, starve those flat followers until lobes mic away into glitter in the drain pan. Lucas TB Zinc Plus floods the gap with more than 5,000 ppm of zinc dialkyl dithiophosphate over 6 times today's API limits, creating a sacrificial film that absorbs every metal-on-metal punch. On dyno small blocks, valve drain were dropped 65% after to race weekends, and oil pressure held rock steady even under 6,500 revolutions per minute pulse. Mix 1 bottle per oil change during break-in or whenever you flog vintage iron, then dump the sump at 1,000 miles to flush excess phosphorus before it clogs your catalyst. Old cams deserve armor. Keep it off late model engines or the cure becomes the killer. Additive number 11. CRC GDI intake valve and turbo cleaner. Direct injection hides its dirt where fuel can't wash it away. After 100,000 kilometers, GDI intake valves cake with tar that steals cold start spark and slashes throttle response. Curses angled straw sprays a pH mist past the throttle plate, soaking backsides of valves while the engine idles at 2,000 revolutions per minute. Chemistry, temperature, and turbulence doing the scrubbing. Borescope before and after shots show patches of bare metal inside a single treatment. Owners report misfire counts dropping to 0. An idle vacuum climbing to NHG. Apply every 15,000 kilometers. Heat engine, disconnect MEF, spray and pulses, then drive 10 spirited minutes. Clean valves, crisp starts, skip the step-by-step, skip the results. Additive number 12. Gum out fuel injector cleaner. €5 can rescue a lazy injector. No dealership required. Gum out's budget bottle still packs legit pee, but keeps concentration modest, so you can pour and go without fear on everything from 98 Civics to 2020 for hybrids. After 1 tank, spray patterns sharpen, HC emissions fall double-digit percentages, and that off-idle stumble you blamed on old age simply vanishes. Test fleets of rideshare. Toyotas logged 0.3 L, 100 kilometers better economy after quarterly treatment pennies. Turn to profit, empty the 177 milliliters bottle into 40 to 80 L of petrol every oil change. Double dose if you've run bargain fuel all winter. Cheap, cheerful, effective. Good maintenance doesn't have to be expensive. Additive number 13. AT to 05 reseal. A €22 bottle can spare you a €1,200 gasket job. AT to 205 isn't an oil thickener. It's a plasticizer that seeps into hardened seals, reswelling the rubber until microscopic cracks close like zippers. Within 2 days, the driveway drip under your valve cover evaporates, the burning oil whiff through the vents disappears, and power steering whine fades because the pump finally holds pressure. One driver of a 300,000 km Corolla logged 0 oil loss after a 3,000 km road trip, saving for liters of top-ups and the weekend he'd planned for a seal swap. Add 150 milliliters per 4 liters of engine or gear oil, idle 10 minutes, then monitor levels over a week. Redose only if seepage returns months later. Leaks love old rubber. Keep a spare bottle in the trunk for aging daily drivers. Additive number 14. Shelf octane boosters promising plus 10 points. 10 octane points sound huge until you do the maths. Marketing counts points as tenths, so that flashy can Only nudges 91 RON to 90 to RON, nowhere near the 95 plus your timing map longs for. Worse, many budget brews rely on MMT, a manganese compound that paints spark plugs pumpkin orange and blinds oxygen sensors, forcing a €400 parts bill plus labor. While the knock you chase still rattles on, dyno tests show 0 horsepower gain and, in some cases, a 1% drop from misfires. Instead, grab factory fresh premium fuel or, for track days, a certified race blend mixed to target numbers. Do the math first. Your wallet and catalytic converter will thank you. Additive number 15, PTFE, Teflon-based oil additives. If Teflon keeps eggs from sticking, why does it strangle engines? PTFE must be suspended in paste. When poured into hot oil it clumps, flakes, and lodges inside narrow galleries like arterial plaque. NASA researchers found filter elements coated shut after 1,000 kilometers, starving bearings until they scored and spun. The FTC agreed, fining Slick €10 million for claims no lab could replicate. Owners chasing silken feel instead recorded higher idle pressure to metallic grit in the pan-early signs of impending overhaul. Want real friction reduction? Choose the proper viscosity, change oil on schedule, or use a moly-based additive tested to ASTM standards. Filters never forgive shrapnel. Skip the flakes. Save the engine. Additive number 16, engine rebuilder. Metal infusion additives. Think metal in a bottle can weld your cylinders back together? These copper, silver, or lead-laden potions suspend soft shavings in thickened base oil, promising to fill scratches and restore compression. In reality, the particles never bond. They settle in gallery corners, trap heat like sludge, and jack oil tong 15 degrees Celsius under load. On a test bench 1.6-liter engine, the additive raised bearing were 28% in 50 hours because the pump fought mud instead of flowing lubricant. Drivers report quieter knock for a week, then sudden oil pressure drops and disco ball glitter in the filter. Don't disguise fatal clearances. Verify them with a compression or leak down test. Choose the correct viscosity and plan a real rebuild when numbers tank. Masking isn't mending. Additive number 17, FVP. Ford branded diesel anti-gel brand loyalty can strand you at -15 degrees Celsius. Project Farm's side-by-side winter trial ranked FVP and its OEM label for twin 10th of 11 anti-gels. Fuel filter still wax plugged at -18 degrees Celsius, while top performers flowed to -40 degrees Celsius. A Kansas contractor lost half a workday waiting on a thawed tow truck, burning more diesel idling heaters than the additive cost to buy. Lab viscosity scans show FVP lowers cold filter plugging point by barely 3 degrees Celsius, and it adds 0 lubricity, leaving injectors no safer than before. Follow the data, not the decal. Hotshot Secret, Peak Blue, or Amsoil all outperformed by double-digit margins. Dose a proven formula before the first frost, store a spare bottle in cab, and ditch anything that trades on a familiar logo alone. Data beats decals. Additive number 18, tetraethyl octane booster. A single teaspoon once fueled bombers and poisoned entire cities. Tetraethyl bumps octane by stabilizing burn rates, but every molecule also plates catalysts with lead oxide, crippling them forever, while airborne dust attacks the brain, kidneys, and developing nervous systems. Studies link phase-out deadlines to instant IQ jumps in urban school kids. On cars, 1 tank of Teldose fuel can foul sensors and converters beyond recovery, flipping the dashboard lamp and forcing a €1,200 repair. Aviation still uses TEL for 100 octane avgas, so small bottles sometimes surface at swap meets. Refuse them outright. Need more knock resistance? Blend ethanol E85 or certified race fuel. Both leave emissions equipment intact. Protect your lungs, your wallet, and any bystander downwind. Lead belongs nowhere. 13 allies, 5 enemies. Now you know exactly what to pour and what to ignore. Pair a trusted cleaner, the right oil booster, and a T205 reseal, and your engine could outlive its own odometer. Hungry for more? Tap the video on screen to learn 13 driving habits that push any motor past 800,000 kilometers. Habit 7 still shocks professional racers. Like, subscribe, and keep wrenching smart, not professional. Advice: consult a qualified mechanic before using any additive.